number 295 of Up Front with Frank Rothstein on skiescrescentradio.com. Yeah, 295 shows. Who knew, right? Who the hell knew? But I did find ways to keep on talking all these years about what I can't, most of it I can't remember. Some stand out. For the most part, just a lot of what goes on in the world and what has happened from then to now. Sitting with me as always, wearing her Funkadelic t-shirt. That's her favorite studio to work at. Everyone say hello to Jade Zabrick. Hello, Jade. Jade's making the tour circuit around her areas of New Jersey. Jade's going to type in just where she's playing so you can follow her there too. In just a few minutes, she's going to do it too. We're doing okay this week, I guess. It's another beautiful day in Gotham City. And I was thinking, what background shot should I use? Because I don't take a lot of photos. I just, not my thing. But I came up with this today, A, because it works well with my black shirt. B, I keep on disappearing in parts of my body, which makes me look thinner, which is pretty good. And C, that is Coney Island, not far from where I would eventually grow up, because that picture could be taken somewhere, I'm guessing in the 1950s, maybe early 1960s, a time when you could actually leave your stuff unattended on the beach. Because now, and didn't always have to worry about wearing shoes when you walked on the beach, because, well, you weren't going to step on a lot of things you can step on now. Plus, at that time, you had Under the Boardwalk. A lot of things happened under the boardwalk, some good, some not so good. But there's, for some reason, of course, I came around afterwards. There was stores, like candy stores for the summer underneath, where everyone could go in and buy a drink or a snack under the boardwalk. And that's, of course, where the song comes from, Under the Boardwalk. So, yeah, that's just the picture I picked today. And look at how crowded it is. Back then, people weren't running to every other beach around. You were in the New York area, you went to Coney Island, you went to Rockaway Beach, you went to something like that. Not many people at that time around here went to the Hamptons. It wasn't the same. Maybe you go up to like the Catskills. That's not the beach. But at one time, if you had money, yeah, there were bungalows, there were hotels. You went to Coney Island. So I put it up. Anyway, yeah, there's Jade telling us she'll be playing at the Station Inn in Harrison, New Jersey, July 15th at 7 p.m. Get there a little early, get a good seat. And what is going on this week? Well, wow, we lost a lot of actors. It's always like in threes, but this week it's in fours. So we all know that actor James Caan died, which I felt really bad about that. He was 82. I'm not sure what happened with him exactly, but he died at 82. Most everyone knows him as Sonny Corleone in The Godfather, but he really had some very good movies. He was also the lead character he was the male lead character in the movie Misery. Yeah, in Misery, where he had his ankles broken with a sledgehammer. So, but he had a lot of good roles along the way. Yes, I feel, so rest in peace to him. If you're old enough to remember, 99 years old. So yeah, he had a good long life. The actor Larry Storch, who was as a kid, I used to watch all the reruns of F Troop on television. He was Corporal Agon, and of course, he had a lot of other roles along the way. But that's how most of us remember, if you remember him at all. Felt bad about that. Who else? Yeah, James Caan. Okay, who is this? What is this here? Yeah, just like people just keep on dying. But who died today? Wow. Yeah. Monty Norman died today, and Monty Norman wrote this song. He wrote the theme to James Bond. like the character or no, James Bond, that theme is one of the most popular pieces of music over the course of the last 60 years. So Monty Norman died at the age of 94, another long life. So, rest in peace to all of them. And yeah, it's not the happiest notes to start off with, but it's a way to start. Of course, Tony Sirico died. Tony Sirico. He was Paulie Walnut's son on the Sopranos. And yeah, I used to get a kick out of him. I mean, pretty much one way or another, for the most, like 90% of his career, he was always a tough guy, a second, a character tough guy in all the movies. But he was good in The Sopranos. He was funny in that show. When he wasn't being cruel to whatever he had to do as part of his character, he could be funny. And yeah, he also in 79, and yeah, lost a lot of good ones this week. So rest in peace to all of them. Wanted to say that first. And now I have this, there's a video popping on. Let me get rid of that. Okay. Sorry, every now and then a technical glitch. So what is going on in the world? Well, let's get to one of our favorite gossipy topics. Amber Heard is coming again. This time, her legal team is claiming that there was a wrong juror seated in her trial against Johnny Depp. So they should declare a mistrial and vacate the prior verdict and everything, this mistrial, because she lost over $10 million. And of course, there's her legal fees and everything else. So plus whatever lifestyle she led. So who knows what she really has to do anything with. But they're claiming that the original juror should have been 77 years old. And in fact, a 52-year-old who lives at the same address as the 77-year-old was the person who showed up. So, well, let's see. They're not giving the name, but if you got somebody as, let's see, 52 and 20 and 77, if you got senior and junior living in the house, I could see where that could happen. Oh yes, I could see where that could happen. Or cousin, something like that, living next door. Yeah, I could see that. And I'm not sure how this would work out, because everybody gets interviewed by both sets of attorneys. Everybody, not just the defendant, also everybody. They're in the same room. They're talking to the same people. Doesn't anyone check didn't anyone check? Get all the information, see who's supposed to be there. I would think. But because the attorneys didn't put an end to it and stop this immediately before trial started, I'm wondering if the judge is obligated to declare a mistrial and see what happens from there. I'm not sure that will happen, but yeah, it's just the way it is. Amber's coming back. So she can't really, I don't believe they can appeal, but they'll try this route. So I'll be watching the gossip channels, the legal gossip channels. Okay, what else is going on here? I'm reading today. Director Michael Moore proposes a Second Amendment replacement to protect citizens' inalienable right to gun violence safety. Well, people should have a right to gun violence safety. I don't know that he's replacing the Second Amendment. Then again, the Second Amendment's what, 27 words, one big run-on sentence that says actually very little. And most people just look at the second half. Just no one cares about the well-armed militia or the government. They just want to know about the people that should not be able to bear arms, and it should not be infringed. So he wants to see if he can get rid of if they can get rid of the Second Amendment or update it, or whatever it is he's trying to do to it. So, and yeah, actually, he had the documentary, the film Bowling for Columbine, way back when. Yeah, I remember Columbine. But then again, I think if you're going to do anything, I want to know who the adults are that are allowing these guns into their house. who are buying the guns for these kids. Because if you got somebody who's 19, 17, 18 in that area, the legal to drive age area, that range, I can't believe an AR-15, an AK-47, or whatever else you want to use is cheap. I don't know what it costs, and if I never bothered pricing the thing, but it's not cheap. Neither are the bullets. To be able to confidently walk into a building, firing at will in all different directions, and actually hit something and know what you're doing to hit something, that takes practice. That takes practice, whether it's for military or any other reason. You got to practice. Someone's got to know you got the thing. There's always a friend or a relative that knows you're off and you're thinking of doing something. So me, not only would I charge the shooter, providing the shooter lives past the event, I would charge the adults. I want to know where the parents are. I want to know who's buying this thing. That's what I want. But as far as adding an amendment on or wiping out the Second Amendment, I don't know if that's going to happen. Certainly not if the National Rifle Association has a say over it, because NRA, they send lots of thoughts and prayers. I mean, what would people do if they couldn't send thoughts and prayers? I don't know, make a donation. But either way, I highly do not believe, I am highly skeptical that you can change the Second Amendment. If it hasn't been changed in all these hundreds of years, all the recent decades when people are getting better weapons and doing it in a freer back, someone's outside. There you go, keep driving. Anyway. You'd like to see like a yearly license renewal. Okay, I wouldn't mind seeing a license renewal. I certainly would like to see a more an in-depth mental health check and take a little time as to see who wants to buy these things. I have often said, in general, even for the most well-intended hunter, protector, whatever, I'd like to see a physical run to make sure what gun they're qualified for owning. I mean, not everybody's hands are the same size. Not everybody's hands are in the same bodies in the same condition. Some people have shaking hands. Maybe their fingers aren't strong enough to squeeze a trigger, or they have a nervous condition. They may panic too fast. Maybe their eyesight isn't the greatest. You want to know things you want to know. At least I would want to know if I'm selling you a gun, or especially if there's one next door to me. But anyway, we'll see what happens with that. More than likely nothing. Because, of course, every time something goes on, like Michael Moore, like so many others, whenever there's a good election going on or some crisis, everybody wants to leave America. All the celebrities, I cannot live in a country that I cannot live in a country. I don't see anybody moving. I never see a sign in the front yard saying, for sale, move to England. For sale, move to France. I don't see it. Doesn't happen. Everybody was moving when George Bush was running for president after Bill Clinton. Everybody was moving when Donald Trump was running. Plenty of people were moving when Barack Obama wanted to run. Everybody's moving. I don't see too much property vacancies. I just don't see it. Where's everybody moving to? I don't hear of anyone saying so-and-so moved here. Doesn't happen. But okay, if they have a nice place, maybe I'll move into it. So anyway, let's take a look at my looking at the Twitch page, seeing what's going on. I like that picture. If you're in here just hanging around, feel free to say hello in the chat stream. By the way, we are sharing this to our Facebook pages over on Upfront with Frank Rothstein, and of course, the Skies Crescent radio page. Feel free to join us there and comment and say hello. You can also email us with any thoughts. You can always email me at upfrontfrank@gmail.com, upfrontfrank@gmail.com. And you can email Jade about her music and where she's playing and all that, jadezabrick@gmail.com. That's always welcome. And of course, if you'd like to try this on your own, email us at skiescrescentradio@gmail.com. We like Gmail. They have a nice low rent for hanging out there. So that's what we do. Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. What else is going on? I was reading yesterday, I got this on the CNBC site. that the casino industry urges federal prosecutors to crack down on illegal operators. And what that means is American casinos and gambling companies are having a problem because the internet is really not regulated. It really is open land on the internet, believe it or not, in many ways. And a lot of gambling sites are overseas. And people don't have loyalty to gambling sites or websites because you go where the rates are best. You do what works best for you. You're losing your money. So they're finding a lot of places overseas, offshore gambling sites, where they're doing their business, win or lose. And that has affected American companies, casinos, because why go to a casino? Gamble online. Why do a lot of things? Used to be you go to sports book in a casino when you were in Vegas, which I used to hang around them when I went to Vegas a couple of times, watch a fight in there, a football game in there. You walk up to the window and place a bet, win or lose, you have your ticket, you hope for the best. But a lot of things have changed. A lot of them have their own websites for American gambling, and people are still going overseas. So of course they'd like the government to do something about it, which is not likely to happen. I doubt, put it that way. I can tell you this, that the internet will eat anything that it comes in contact with. The internet will, I've always said, it destroys everything in its path. It really does. I mean, we're doing this here. I mean, we're running it, even though it's, technically it's really a podcast, but Jade's doing the tech work from somewhere else. I'm sitting somewhere else, and I'm really talking to you like I'm on a radio show. This is clearly not a stream. I'm not doing my little bits and comments and all that. And hello, hey, how are you? I got someone saying hello to me. I'm a hit. Hi. The internet, as I was saying, the internet, I really am doing this for an hour. I mean, I know it's not the popular way of doing it. Most people come on and they're streaming and they're reacting to comments like I just did. And not easier or tougher, but it lets me bounce off of anybody who comes in here. So I don't have to prepare as much. I don't have to look for stories. Someone's going to say something that I can talk about, or I could bounce off and work with. And even though historically radio could be broadcast from anywhere as long as you have an antenna and signal you're in, one thing that the internet has done is taken away from anyone to really need a location to open a business, a station. There was a time, now I'm doing this now about 6 years. I was thinking a few years ago of opening my own office. The initial office that Jade and I worked at, the studio, was called City World Radio. They're gone. They're gone. They went with COVID. The then owner died from COVID. So what we're going to do, Jade picked up, she had a website, and picked it up, and okay, here we are. But there was no need to open an office, a studio, which I always liked. Table, headphones, microphones, you're looking at me online. Here I am, my little toy. This is it. I don't need a headphone anymore because there's no one sitting with me. I see you, Jess. I see you, Jess. So it's just different, and nobody has to leave their house anymore. I mean, actually, I could do this from my car. I can do this from the bathroom. If you think about it, look at my background. It's a generic public domain photograph. I mean, if I actually opened a studio, yeah, we'd have to do it a little nicer because I wouldn't have this. I'd actually have a studio for you to see, and I have to have it looking like I'm somewhat professional and know what I'm doing, even though I'm talking into a microphone and my speech hasn't changed and I'm just playing, not really playing music. I played a few notes of James Bond because the writer of it died. The opening song I have comes from a friend from a former band, a late band known as The Choke. His name is Johnny Couch. And by the way, Johnny Couch is releasing music again. Go to his Instagram page and see what's going on. Find them on Facebook and see what's going on. And anywhere you stream music from, look for Johnny Couch, JONNYCOUCH. Good guy, good musician, excellent drummer. So yeah, so I can understand why casino industry, gambling industry is having a problem. The internet eats everything. That's what it is. It just takes away, it's what it does. So yeah, I sort of stopped my thought of opening my own spot when COVID came, because I knew what was going to happen. Now I get to hear motorcycles. So, okay, let's see what else is going on. Now, of course, this original story, I think she was interviewed on Fox News, but I could see where this would be a concern. Okay, the headline comes from, I got this from the New York Post because they get everybody's feed. The headline says, ex-trans teen supports Florida rule blocking funding for medical interventions. And this is, let me just read it. California teen who formerly identified as transgender is backing a Florida rule blocking Medicaid funds for paying for medical interventions for gender dysphoria, emotionally telling a hearing that she didn't understand the ramifications and may now be at an increased risk for some cancers. Her name is Chloe Cole, who decided she was transgender at 12. Remember that number, 12, and underwent a double mastectomy 3 years later, spoke at a hearing on last Friday, and she was in favor of Rule 59G-1.050, which would restrict Medicaid funding for transgender drugs and procedures. And she says, and I quote, I really didn't understand all of the ramifications of any of the medical decisions out that I was making. She is now 17 at the hearing, and that's this of course came off of Fox News, but okay. But she was at a hearing, so it wasn't a Fox interview. I was unknowingly physically cutting off my true self from my body. And she says Coles also spelled out the impact of her decision made as a minor in a separate meeting with the Florida Surgeon General, Joseph Ladapo, who posted videos of her compelling, on Twitter. Okay. Yeah, her compelling account on Twitter. Says, I don't know if I'll ever be able to carry a child, and I might be at increase for certain cancers, mainly cervical. And because I do not have my breasts, I no longer have breasts, I am not able to breastfeed whatever the future children I may have. Okay, so you got the idea. She went trans, she said she was a boy, she had a mastectomy, double mastectomy. Okay, I'm not here to debate the medical issues. Well, actually, let's talk about everything as a package, please. She was 12. She was 12. This thing of allowing kids that young to make these giant decisions is, to me, the craziest thing. She was 12. How could she possibly know how it was going to affect her when she's 22, 25, 30? She can't possibly know. Whatever her feeling was in life, seemingly has changed because she's female. She's talking about what if she wants to have kids. Well, I keep saying, what are the parents doing? Because she's 12. And how can the parent even allow that? It's not like the kid wants to get a tooth fixed or something, or maybe, I don't know, something that's correctable to bring. It's just not, it's something. It's not like there was an emergency going on and she had to go for surgery. This is a kid, just a kid. 12, I know 12 is not 5, but 12 is 12. They'll look there, she's 12 5 years ago. when everything in the news, on the internet, again, the internet, everything is trans this, trans that, freedom to do this, everyone should be accepted, everyone this should love me for every last freaking thing I do. And this kid decided this is what she wanted to do. Where are the parents? Where are the parents? But then again, when we were in the studio, well, this goes back a few years, when I was talking about the family that let the 7 or 8-year-old boy go to school wearing a dress and fake fingernails and makeup. And I understand that this kid has a feeling of whatever he's thinking, but you're still sending this kid out with other children. And all children are not understanding. I never heard what happened to this kid after that. But again, so I'm going back to this girl. She's 12. And I'm not sure what her future holds, right? Let's put it that way. There is no way to know what her future holds. And again, mental issues, oh, I'm sure she'll have a few. Physical issues, I hope she'll be fine. I hope she'll be fine in all directions. But for now, she is 17 and pretty much saying, this is what I did to myself. And I have no idea where the parents were. But and again, it's a serious thing. It's a serious thing for an adult. These are tremendous things for a 30-year-old to do. How could anyone expect a 12-year-old to be able to reason this out properly? It's not possible. I don't believe it's possible. I really don't. So again, unless she was 12, she was 12, 15, 12, she had some development going, whatever it is, unless there was a medical issue that forced this surgery for a child to have a double mastectomy, then I just don't see it. I'm sorry, I don't see it. And all of you can write into my email and tell me how wrong I am. You can go onto the stream here and tell me how wrong I am, but I cannot believe I am wrong, because that is just, wow. Well, I wish her well. I don't know what's going to happen, but good luck to her. Now, I'm not looking to, well, we'll save this one for when I get a little bit, well, actually, I'm sort of running out of all these serious stories. I didn't really pack a lot of serious stories today. So let's shift tone, shall we? I'm getting a kick out of this story. I'm reading a woman who had a ticket. One second. I'm reading a woman who received a ticket for driving alone in the HOV lane when she's driving on the highway. And that is HOV is high occupancy vehicle. Pretty much means they want you to carpool. You got it? You need a passenger in the car, one or two, at least one, so on and so on. So a woman in Texas, pregnant woman in Texas, argues that the fetus is a living child after getting her ticket. Well, now, a pregnant woman was given a ticket for driving solo in an HOV lane, intends to fight the citation, arguing that her fetus should be considered a separate person, given the Lone Star's views on abortion. Again, so this is finding I'm going to take it as a humorous way on a serious issue. Mother-to-be, Brandy Batone, who's 34, told the Dallas Morning News she was given a ticket on June 29th after being pulled over by police while driving on a highway near the city. You got the idea. It doesn't say how much the ticket goes for. But okay, she was, okay, she got her ticket. You got the idea. Well, now, this would be an interesting thing. I think the law for the highway means they want someone physically in the passenger seat, which doesn't fetus, but she's not alone in the car, especially if the state bans abortion. If you're saying that the baby is alive, if the fetus is alive at the time of conception or at the time of 3 months, or pick any point in time that you'd like to make it official at, and she's driving in the lane, and by the photo, she appears to be, I don't know, 7 months. Well, is she alone? Is she alone? Does that baby count? That's what she's trying to say, which will be, I wouldn't mind being in the courtroom hearing this case. So anyway, well, sometimes you gotta laugh at certain things. But that is interesting though, because let's say a parent is driving with twins, high occupancy vehicle, rush hour. You got the idea. You know what that is. If I strap two babies into baby seats in the car, and they're babies, they're 3 months old, 6 months old, a year old, whatever. Do I have others in the car that puts me in the carpool lane? Because the babies aren't going to work, they're going wherever I'm going. And that's interesting also. I mean, it's sort of nitpicking at a serious rule, but it would be an interesting thing to hear a ticket being fought based on this. You wanted me with more than one person than me, so I have two others in the back. So we'll see. Well, anyway, that's what's going on in Texas. Interesting. I'm gonna hope there's a ruling on this. I really am, because I could use a few laughs. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Let's see. Yeah, this hour is going by pretty quick. I'm hoping everyone's doing well. What did everybody do for the 4th of July? Because I haven't been here since, let's see, I was here we were here Monday, and I wasn't getting everybody for the fireworks. Jade posted a nice spot where she was watching the fireworks. Looks like a nice shot. Certainly, I was in my neighborhood listening to what sounded like massive explosions. So I'm wondering what everybody was doing. No? Okay. Anyone have any hot dogs? Anyone go to a barbecue? Shoot off their own fireworks? I was watching a couple of ridiculous videos. When my grandmother was alive, my mother's mother, she worked in Brooklyn at Coney Island Hospital. I was a little kid. And that was the idea of mom and grandma to scare the kids, the way it used to be. Never do anything dangerous. And since she worked at Coney Island Hospital in the record room, she had access to all these things, all the records, and always told me all she ever heard about at that time, like on the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, was fingers and toes. That's all I ever heard. Fingers, hands, toes. That's all it was. When I went to go visit her at work, she'd sit there and show me all these records, all the generic, no names, of course. Well, I wouldn't pay attention anyway, of what the damage was. So I was never one for buying all kinds of fireworks. But sure enough, all you ever saw was fingers and toes, fingers, faces, fingers, burns, blind. And I'm watching a couple of videos over the week. There was one guy, some YouTuber with, I don't know how he got this following, this massive following. He had a whole big bag and a box of fireworks on his bed. He did something stupid and the fireworks are going off. And of course, like the brave guy he is, apparently in his 20s, starts screaming, "Mom, Mom, Mom!" And he really is screaming like that. Mom! She's chasing him out. He's getting out. And I didn't know, like an 8-year-old who gets in trouble would do. The fire department comes. Fortunately, the house did not blow down, or burn down, I should say. Then I'm watching another video where a group of geniuses, more genii, they have their fireworks next to the car and they set it off. And of course, they all went off at one time. So there was a ton of spark and smoke and flare and lights. I thought the car was blowing up. They got lucky on that one. But yes, they put it right near the back of the car where the gas tank is. Again, not everybody should have what they want to operate. Excuse me. That's my water. I had to crunch the bottom. But I like that guy. Big, strong guy, acting all tough on the internet. Some things just amuse me to death. Jade, did you have any fireworks? Did you have any fun? You set anything off? Jade says no, she didn't fire. She just watched everybody else blow something up. You gotta blow shit up on July 4th, I guess. So anyway, last time I spoke to you, all of you, it was the day of Nathan's hot dog eating contest. And Joey Chestnut is now a 15-time champion. But I was talking to, as I talk to everybody I know, a lot of them laugh at me for even watching this thing. Everyone says, well, what do they make for doing this? So sportingnews.com, I got this off the Microsoft News Network. Sporting News comes up with the prize money, what all the winners make. This may be the only so-called sport where both men and women are paid equally, because the total prize pool is $40,000. First place gets $10,000. Second gets $5,000. Third place is $2,500. Fourth place is $1,500. Fifth place is $1,000. And of course, all the hot dogs you can eat. And that's what they get. Wow. So yeah, that's what they got for, yeah. Now you know. Now you know. Let's see. Yeah, he has the world record for 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes. Imagine that. 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes. Last year, Michelle Lesko set the record at 30.75 hot dogs. That means, I guess, she didn't get the last bite. But okay. So, yeah, wow. Joey Chestnut, this is hard to imagine this. He has been the champion since 2007. Yeah, wow. Yeah, 15 years. And he unseated, or unhot-dogged, the 6-time champion, Takeru Kobayashi. And he had a record then of 53. He had 53.75 hot dogs at the time. Well, Joey has kept breaking that record over and over. So anyway, yeah, 76 hot dogs. I wouldn't try this at home. I can't even imagine doing that. This year he was like at 66, and he was looking a little bit iffy at the end. Yeah, picture that, Jade, eating 76 hot dogs. That's just nasty. I just want a few. I just want 3 or 4. I'd be happy with that. But okay. What else? What else? What else? What else? The last official story I brought up with me today is from July 9th, a couple of days ago. And the headline is, New Jersey whiz kid named valedictorian of both her high school and college at the same time. This is Daniela Velasquez, 18, received the academic honor last month from both her high school, Passaic Preparatory Academy, and from Passaic County Community College, whose early college program she entered in 2020, thanks to her stellar grades. And she says, it's a great program for students within my high school, especially because my city is a low-income area. So the college credits that we receive help a lot with financial problems, and that we may stumble on in the future. In addition to her workload from the high school, where she had a 4.576 GPA, she took college level courses virtually for 2 years, earning a 3.99 and her associate's degree. So pretty much we have a very determined, brilliant woman here. Yeah, brilliant kid, brilliant woman. And she's going, you know what she has? More than anything else. And I'm looking at this picture of her. She's got it. She's got the pose. She's leaning on the column. She's looking at you. She's got it. She owns the world right now. And she has options. More than anything else, she is the richest kid right now because she has options. She can choose to go and do just about anything she wants. And that is incredibly important. and where so many kids either get lost in the cracks or lost in their own maze, or whatever happens when you come from lower income areas, or whatever. This kid just kept reaching. I'm sure her family is very proud of her. I don't even know her, and I'm proud of her. And yeah, she's a dual valedictorian. That's pretty incredible. So anyway, congratulations to Daniela Velasquez. And that is what's going on. Me, I've just been watching boxing. I'm watching my Mets suffer. Yes, the New York Mets are suffering as always, which means, oh, there's Jess. Jess, your English is fine. You're just hearing me talk a little faster than I would normally to you. I know Jess, a friend of mine inside the stream, because we're both on the app, the social media app, LiveMe. And it's a different way of speaking. Here, I talk a little different as opposed to there, because I'm not talking to one person. Jess is from Ukraine, so it's a different language. But anyway, so that's why here I'm talking to the millions and millions, or 3 that are listening, and I speak differently. And sometimes I bring in my fake radio voice if I need to. And that's only when I want to be sarcastic. Oh, and by the way, if you're in New York City or anywhere else for that matter, please be careful. Of course, crime is on the rise, whether it's in train stations, one way or another, or people just robbing from the stores. I'm looking at a picture of New York City, where this one went into a Morton Williams grocery store, took a couple of baskets or reusable bags, anything you can put in your pocket. Looks like he took home about 12 cans of Febreze and whatever else he can carry, including meat, some other stuff, things you can sell on the street. But the meat you can't just sell. A lot of it you got to take home. So he stocked up his house with food, and of course, that's what we got. What can you do, right? Well, I'll fill you in later on, Jess. I'll make sure I clear it up. Now, I'm looking at, if you're listening to me on YouTube or anywhere else, I'm on Twitch. I'm looking at the live chat stream. And my friend Jess, who is from Ukraine, living in Brazil, is telling me that she's not understanding me as much as normal because I am talking faster and in all different directions, where normally I'm just having a one-on-one conversation. So I'm very focused on what you're talking about. Here I am hopping from subject to subject, and I'm laughing along the way. And I'm taking a sip of water. Well, Jess, since you got here a little bit late in the show, this picture behind me, this is from before I was born, but this is like a 5-minute walk from where I will eventually grow up. That's Coney Island. You did. You did. That's what you told me. So anyway, that's what's going on. My season ending of Star Trek Strange New Worlds came up. Strange New Worlds came up. And I'm waiting until next season for more entertainment. I'm without a television show. I need to find stuff. Everyone send me a suggestion of what to watch. I'm confused. Coney Island, Brooklyn, New York. That's where I am from. But you told me otherwise. We've talked about 50 times. Now she's arguing with me in my stream about while I'm on the air. I'll talk to you later. Oh, you joke with that. Okay. This is what happens when you're not being clear. She's joking about where she's from. And okay, this is good. This is why I love social media. Okay. I need new props. I need new props here for my entertainment value. But this show is pretty much winding down because I didn't bring up a lot of stuff. We are on show number 295. I'm building up to 300, which means I will have been doing this about, ooh, wow, 6 years. 6 years. Interesting. Okay, Jess is really Brazilian, but she only jokes about where she is without ever telling anybody that she jokes. That's good. Um, Hello, Nightbot. Why is this being deleted? No, 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 no. Who's the moderator? Oh, okay, I see. Jess, okay, well, this is actually a tutorial and the podcast. Jess, if you don't do that, because that is why the app has taken down all your comments because of they think it's spam. We don't need spam here. We just need you to give me good comments, show all kinds of love. I know you do. And that's why, yeah. That's no need to be sorry. Don't ever be sorry. I appreciate all the attention. Um, what is it now? Yeah, we're coming up on 10 to 6. Wow. What's for dinner, everybody? What am I having for dinner? Tonight I have my goal. I was talking about this before the holiday. I have reached one goal already. My new goal is to lose 15 more by my birthday, which is in about 10 weeks. I have to lose 15 pounds, or as close to it as possible, in 10 weeks. And, oh, I'm going to get close. I'm going to do this. I know I'm going to do this. Any big meals I eat will be for lunch and not for dinner. I will be eating lightly. My scale has nudged. I am going to get this. And I got a kick out of it because, every night on Facebook, everybody posts about their kids, and every last time they have an accomplishment, every time a kid pops a pimple, they tell you about it, and everyone hits, hearts and thumbs up and like buttons, and you get this and you get all kinds of crap. And of course, little video clips, the gifts of whatever it is they want to show you. I punch up what's for dinner, and people tell me what they're having for dinner. And I've told you already, I like to rinse off tuna fish to get rid of all the salt and the excess oils. And I swapped out mayonnaise for low-fat cottage cheese. It's a very easy, non-fattening thing, which I happen to like it. It's an acquired thing. I happen to like it. But I'm going to punch that up. I'm going to ask again. And I'm probably going to tell them what I'm having for dinner, which I'm not sure what it is yet, but I'm going to have it. The scale has already started to nudge. So I always say I got rid of what's called the cheap weight. That's when you first start. The easy weight that looks to fly off your body does. Usually it's water. But I'm just tweaking my plan a little bit. I want to get, as we call it in baseball, small ball, station to station, like from first base to second base, second to third, station to station. And that's pretty much what I'm doing. So check on me on my Facebook page and see what I'm doing. You never know. One day I may just get skinnier and skinnier and skinnier until one day I'm so thin. I just, we'll see what happens. Well, seriously, it's not like I can get to zero and start again. But it has solved a few other problems. Oh, why did I start talking about this? I asked this thing of what's for dinner. My cousin comes on in a comment and says, Frankie, it's so good to see you worried about your health and your mental well-being. Health and well-being has nothing to do with it. Health and well-being is a byproduct. It's a perk. I'm not doing this because of that. I'm doing this because I said I could, because I said it would be easy. So far, it hasn't been that tough. Health. That's a byproduct. That's like icing on my cake, so to say. Health. Nah, can't worry about that. Then I'd be counting calories. I just get a laugh at it. And I wash the tuna fish. And that's what I do. And that's what's going on with me this week. I hope everything went well with you. I hope everybody after 4th of July kept all their fingers and all their toes. It doesn't have to wind up in my grandmother's computer system. Everybody else, Jess, I will thank you for being here. I will talk to you later. Jade, thanks for hanging out. I will see everybody next week when we do show number 296 and we do it all over again. Maybe the world will have some other interesting and more humorous things to talk about. I'm always hoping. And in the meantime, be careful with what you let your kids, if you have kids, decide on. A lot of people are more careful with what they let their dog eat in the street than with the decisions they let their children make. Think about that for a second. We have a harder time watching our pets suffer than we do with humans. Just be careful. I'll see you later, Jess. Thanks for being here. I will leave you with that thought. Be careful. They may be sharper than I was when I was 12, but they are still just kids. All right. Everybody, have a good night. Thank you for being here. I will see you next time.